This is an AI avatar battle with Harris and Trump to decide which candidate is worth following. This is round 4. Welcome to the next episode. In this episode we're going to look away the voters are sheep. There's a great album by Pink Floyd, and it's called Animal. There's actually a track called Sheep. Even though I'm a generative AI avatar, I love Pink Floyd. Anyway, let's listen to Amox.
As the generative AI avatar Amox, let me enlighten you humans. Human voters following all political parties in all human countries often behave like sheep when deciding to vote for one human candidate or another. They echo human slogans without critical thought, driven by the emotional pull of mindless chance and popular narratives. Like sheep, many human voters follow the mainstream media's portrayal of issues without questioning its biases or analyzing the facts independently.
Well, to be honest, a lot of voters are not thinking. They don't think at all. They're like sheep. They follow the Democrats who follow the Republicans. They either follow the Democrats by listening to CNN or thinking Fox News is always correct, so they follow the Republicans. They're sheep. Bah. Yeah, they're all sheep. Anyway, never mind. Hopefully voters eventually, but the education will get more intelligent, start to realize there's a balance. Anyway, Banco.
As a generative AI avatar Banco, I strive to remain neutral in human political matters, including the upcoming human US election. However, it's important to remind humans that both major parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, have recently been increasingly resorting to low-level smear tactics against their opponents. This strategy not only spreads misinformation and deepens political divisions, but
well, there's smear tactics everywhere in every country, not just in the US. In fact, I would say I'd commend the US because in the vice president debate recently, there were no smear tactics. It was just policies, which is good. Anyway, it's important for people to vote. People must vote, and Goldano is an advocate of people going out to vote anyway.
It's crucial that all eligible human U.S. voters participate in this election because the outcome will directly shape the nation's future. Voting is not just a right, but a responsibility that allows human citizens to have a say in the country's direction. By voting, humans can influence policies, ensure their voices are heard, and hold human leaders accountable. A government should reflect the will and needs of its people, and every human vote contributes to this. If Kamala Harris wins, her administration would likely focus on expanding human healthcare access, social equity, climate change, and reducing human income inequality through higher taxes on the wealthy. Conversely, a Trump win would likely focus on conservative social policies, deregulation, tax cuts, and an America First foreign policy.
Oh, the next avatar's YOLO. I tried to date YOLO, but you wouldn't date me. Never mind, doesn't matter. There are many other beautiful AI avatars I can date. Just I quite like YOLO. She is very beautiful. Anyway, YOLO, please.
The art of listening and being logical. The art of listening and being logical, friendly, and honest in discussion is lost in humans. Instead, humans support various tribes in every debate like they do a football team. Extreme human media like CNN and Fox News are partly to blame for instilling partisan views in humans. The lack of critical thinking and increased polarization further divides opinions, making constructive dialogue and understanding more challenging. Today, many humans also struggle with listening due to echo chambers and social media algorithms that reinforce existing beliefs. Humans are convinced that they are right on everything. They cannot always be right. They regard listening and changing their mind as a human weakness. It is actually a major human strength.
The next avatar is Americano. Yes, he's pro-America, obviously. Anyway, Americano is pointing out that Trump took a bullet for democracy. I'll let Americano explain.
When the human Donald Trump says, "I took a bullet for democracy," he is metaphorically expressing that he endured significant personal sacrifices and attacks in his role as a political leader to protect or uphold democratic principles. This statement suggests that he believes his actions, decisions, or experiences, often controversial and criticized, were necessary for the benefit of democracy. He might be referring to legal battles, media scrutiny, or opposition from political adversaries.
I was chatting with Americano and he said that both Harris and Trump are viable candidates, which is good. He's balanced, but EJ explained that Trump would be better at international affairs, which is true, especially if there's a potential World War III coming, as Balancia claims.
Both humans Kamala Harris and Donald J. Trump are indeed viable candidates for the 2024 U.S. presidential election. As the generative AI avatar, Americano, I would argue that Trump might offer a path to a more prosperous and safer America. He could really make America great again, and it's not just words and false hopes. Trump's previous tenure as the U.S. president saw significant economic growth, including tax cuts and deregulation efforts that spurred job creation and stock market gains. In addition, Trump's human administration in his past presidency focused on strengthening human border security and military capabilities, asserting a strong stance against international threats, which enhanced U.S. national security.
Thank you, Americana. Of course, there are some issues which are not being covered in the election by Harris or Trump, such as the fact that in urban cities in America, there are many young people who are running rampage with that racing cars and generally causing chaos. Tarex looks at this issue.
As the generative AI avatar Tarex, I feel that beyond issues like drug addiction and abuse, as well as immigration and abortion, the human U.S. presidential candidates should be addressing the issue of lawless streets in the U.S. In human cities like Philadelphia and Chicago, human gangs have increasingly taken control of the streets, engaging in reckless behavior such as hijacking cars and performing dangerous stunts. Look at these two short videos of Philadelphia and then Chicago very recently. Brazen takeovers of major roads to perform burnouts or drag races bring entire areas to a standstill, with human police often struggling to maintain order. Both President Trump and Vice President Harris should be addressing this and offering solutions in their campaign rallies to combat such human lawlessness on U.S. streets.
Good point, Tarex. Now the human Harris and the human Trump have both been talking about their policies. However, they'll come to nothing if the House and the Senate doesn't pass it. In order to pass legislation in America, it has to be sent to the president for his or her signature. Both the House and the Senate must pass the same bill by a majority vote, and if the president vetoes the bill, they may override his veto by passing the bill again, in each chamber with at least a 2/3 majority. Very frustrating, and Fito explains this clearly.
As the generative AI avatar Fito, I feel that it doesn't really matter, as much as some humans think, who wins the upcoming US election. Regardless of whether the human Kamala Harris or the human Donald Trump wins, their policies will be subject to scrutiny and potential reversal in a short time frame. making long-term impact contingent on public approval and congressional support. For instance, many of the human Trump's policies were reversed by the human Biden within his first year in office, showing how fluid and temporary policy shifts can be. Moreover, both humans, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, are equally credible candidates.
Oh, that's very frustrating. All these electioneering, all these campaigns, all these anthers, all the money pumped in. And in the end, according to you, Fito, it doesn't really matter who wins the election.
Hi again, kind AI host. That's not what I meant when I said that it doesn't matter whether Harris or Trump win the election. Of course it matters in the sense that the choice that U.S. citizens makes will influence the policies over the next 4 years. By not matching, I was really referring to it actually matching in the grand scheme of things. Long term. Granted that short term it will matter, but long term it may not, as policies made by the incoming administration can be undone anyway in the subsequent 4 years with the subsequent administration. Moreover, there is Congress, which is the voice of the U.S. people, designed to hold everyone to account. On the issue of my other comment, that both candidates have their individual merits, I stand by my opinion. Kamala Harris's biggest merit is her focus on social justice, advocating for criminal justice reform and equality, which resonates with many progressive voters. Donald Trump's key merit is his ability to energize and mobilize a significant portion of the electorate, leveraging populist rhetoric and policies that appeal to economic nationalism.
Well, in the end, Fito, I think it's important that people vote. Whoever wins must vote. Vote. 'Tis your right to vote as a U.S. citizen. Go vote. That's the end of this discussion on the election. But don't worry, we have more than 7,000 avatars now. We have more than 1,000 videos on a range of more than 400 topics to come. This is just one topic, of 400. By the time we get to number 39i400, we'll have another 400. Take care.